Are you serious right now? Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre just went nuclear on each other, and I'm about to tell you why this might be the biggest mistake WWE has made heading into Saturday night's main event. Listen, I don't care if you're Team Cody or Team Drew, what just went down is absolutely unacceptable, and somebody needs to be held accountable. These two so-called professional wrestlers just proved they care more about their egos than putting on a proper match for the fans who pay their salaries. And before you come at me in the comments defending either one of them, watch this entire video because I'm about to expose the truth that WWE doesn't want you to know. If you think I'm overreacting, drop your opinion in the comments right now and let's settle this. Let me break down exactly what happened, because clearly some people need a wake-up call about the chaos that just erupted. We're mere days away from Saturday night's main event, one of WWE's most prestigious events making its grand return to network television, and instead of building anticipation the right way, we get Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre acting like two kids fighting over the last slice of pizza at a birthday party. For those who missed it, and honestly, I don't know how you could have missed it because it's all over social media, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre were scheduled for a face-to-face contract signing segment. You know, the classic WWE formula: two superstars, one table, a contract, and a pen. Simple, right? Wrong. Because neither of these men could keep their composure for more than 30 seconds before everything descended into absolute mayhem. Cody Rhodes comes out first, the undisputed WWE champion, with that title gleaming on his shoulder. He's got the weight of the entire company on his back, finished his story at WrestleMania, and now he's supposed to be the fighting champion who represents WWE with class and dignity. He sits down at the table, microphone in hand, and starts talking about honor, legacy, and how Saturday night's main event deserves a main event worthy of its name. Then Drew McIntyre's music hits. The Scottish warrior storms down that ramp with fire in his eyes, and you can immediately tell something's off. This isn't the calculated, methodical Drew we've seen recently. This is a man on the edge, a man who's been overlooked, disrespected, and pushed to his absolute breaking point. And honestly, I don't blame him for being angry, but what he did next was completely out of line. Quick question before we continue: do you think Drew McIntyre has been unfairly overlooked by WWE management, or has he gotten exactly what he deserves? Sound off in the comments. Drew grabs a microphone and completely unloads on Cody. He's talking about how Cody got handed everything: the main event spot at WrestleMania, the championship, the respect, the adulation, while Drew has been busting his back for years with nothing to show for it. He brings up how he was WWE champion during the pandemic with no fans, how he's been the workhorse of whatever brand he's on, how he's sacrificed his body time and time again, and yet Cody Rhodes gets treated like wrestling royalty just because of his last name. And you know what? Some of what Drew said actually made sense. The man has legitimate grievances. But here's where it all went sideways, and this is what has me absolutely furious. Instead of signing the contract like a professional and saving the physicality for Saturday night's main event where fans paid to see them fight, Drew flips the table. Contract papers go flying everywhere, the pen rolls across the ring, and security is scrambling to figure out what to do. Cody stands up, and instead of being the bigger man, instead of walking away and letting Drew look like the unhinged lunatic, he takes the bait. Cody drops the championship belt and goes right at Drew. These two start throwing hands in the middle of the ring, and it's not your typical wrestling punches, these are real strikes fueled by legitimate animosity. Security rushes the ring, and let me tell you, this wasn't your usual 5 or 6 guys. WWE sent what looked like 20 security personnel to separate these two, and they still couldn't control the situation. Cody breaks free and hits Drew with a disaster kick that sends him tumbling through the ropes to the outside. Drew recovers, grabs a steel chair, and I swear my heart stopped because I thought we were about to witness a career-ending injury live on television. Real talk, should WWE have better control over their talent, or is this chaos exactly what makes wrestling exciting? Drop your take below. Officials are screaming at Drew to drop the chair. Adam Pearce comes running down the ramp looking like his head's about to explode. But Drew doesn't care. He slides back into the ring with that chair raised high, and Cody is right there ready to meet him. The chair shot never comes because security literally tackles Drew to the ground like he's a football player, but the damage is done. The segment ends with Cody standing tall in the ring, holding his championship above his head while Drew is being forcibly escorted up the ramp, screaming threats and promises of what he's going to do at Saturday night's main event. The crowd is going absolutely bonkers, half of them chanting, "Let them fight," and the other half chanting, "This is awesome." Meanwhile, I'm sitting here thinking about how WWE just potentially ruined what should have been an incredible match. Here's why I'm so frustrated with this entire situation, and why you should be too. Saturday night's main event is supposed to be special. It's supposed to be WWE's return to that classic network television format that made wrestling mainstream in the 80s and 90s. This is the show that should feature the best of what WWE has to offer: clean finishes, incredible wrestling, moments that casual viewers will remember and want to see more of. Instead, what do we get? A championship match that's now been poisoned by a contract signing that got out of control. And you know what's going to happen at Saturday night's main event now, right? We're not going to get a clean finish. There's going to be interference, or a disqualification, or some screwy ending that leads to a rematch at the next pay-per-view. WWE has done this 1,000 times before, and we fall for it every single time. Predict it right now in the comments: clean finish at Saturday night's main event, or are we getting screwed with a DQ or interference? I want to see your predictions. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes for a second, because his behavior in this situation is equally problematic. You're the champion. You're the face of the company. You're supposed to be the guy who doesn't take the bait, who rises above the chaos, who shows the world that being champion means having composure under pressure. Instead, Cody lets Drew get in his head, and now both of them look like hot-headed brawlers who can't control their emotions. And Drew McIntyre? Look, I understand his frustration. I really do. The man is one of the most talented performers on the entire roster. He's got the look, the in-ring ability, the promo skills, everything you need to be a top guy. But throwing tantrums and flipping tables isn't going to get you the respect you think you deserve. You want to be taken seriously as a main eventer? Then act like a main eventer. Sign the contract, cut a killer promo that makes everyone believe you're going to win, and then prove it in the ring on Saturday night. But no, instead, we get this circus, and now the entire wrestling world is talking about the brawl instead of the actual match. WWE social media is probably celebrating right now because this clip is going viral, but what about the long-term storytelling? What about the integrity of the championship? What about giving fans a reason to believe that Saturday night's main event matters for something other than shock value? You know what really grinds my gears about this whole situation? WWE has conditioned us to accept this as normal. They've trained the audience to expect that every contract signing ends in violence, that every face-to-face confrontation requires security to break it up, that we can't just have two competitors who respect the business enough to save their energy for the actual match. It's lazy storytelling disguised as entertainment, and we're all enablers because we eat it up every single time. And here's the worst part that nobody's talking about: what if someone gets injured in these stupid brawls? What if Cody tweaks his knee when he hits that disaster kick? What if Drew lands wrong when security tackles him? Then Saturday night's main event loses its main event. Fans who planned their weekend around watching this match get disappointed, and WWE has to scramble to put together a backup plan. All because two grown men couldn't keep their hands to themselves for 3 more days. Here's my bottom line, and I want you to really think about whether you agree with me or not. The Cody Rhodes vs. Drew McIntyre clash that just happened represents everything that's simultaneously right and wrong with modern WWE. It's right because it creates buzz, gets people talking, and makes the match feel important. It's wrong because it undermines the legitimacy of championship matches, prioritizes short-term shock over long-term storytelling, and sets a precedent that professional wrestlers can't be trusted to act professionally. Saturday night's main event should be WWE's chance to show the world that they can still deliver must-see television on a major network. Instead, they are relying on the same tired formula of let's have them fight before they fight and hoping that's enough to draw viewers. Maybe it will be. Maybe the ratings will be through the roof. But at what cost to the prestige of the championship and the credibility of the performers? Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are both incredibly talented superstars who deserve better than being booked into these predictable confrontations. They are capable of building a match through their words, through their in-ring psychology, through making fans genuinely invested in who wins rather than just wanting to see them beat each other up. So here are my final questions for all of you, and I need you to engage with this. First, who are you picking to win at Saturday night's main event, Cody Rhodes retaining, or Drew McIntyre finally getting his moment? Second, did this brawl make you more excited for the match, or less excited because you know WWE's probably going to screw us with the finish? And third, and this is the big one, should WWE bring back real consequences for superstars who attack each other before matches, like fines or suspensions, or is that too realistic for wrestling? Drop all your answers in the comments below. If this video fired you up as much as that contract signing fired up Cody and Drew, smash that like button. Share this with every wrestling fan you know because we need to have this conversation. And subscribe to Wrestling Zone 1 because we're the only channel brave enough to call out WWE when they are playing it safe with tired formulas. I'll be reading every single comment, so don't hold back. Let's debate this. I'll see you in the next one.